Welcome to Dollar Side Hustle, your go-to podcast for all things side hustle. Today we're diving deep into a concept that can seriously boost your side hustle game. It's all about the power of proper priorities. I think we've all been there. You're working your 9 to 5, maybe juggling family life, and trying to get this amazing side hustle off the ground. It's so easy to get lost in an endless to-do list and feel like you're always chasing your tail. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from that feeling of overwhelm and actually start making real progress towards your side hustle goals? That's exactly what we're going to explore today.
It's interesting how many highly successful people, those entrepreneurs who are really crushing it, completely ditch the traditional to-do list.
Hold on, ditch the to-do list. That
I
sounds a
can't say
little
it.
extreme. I mean, what's wrong with my trusty to-do list? It's gotten me this far.
Think about it. A to-do list often treats all tasks as equals. It doesn't distinguish between a quick 5-minute task and a project that requires hours of focused work. You end up just checking off those easy wins, while the really important tasks get pushed aside.
You know, you're right. I'm totally guilty of that. I love crossing those quick things off my list. But then I realize I haven't really moved the needle on the big stuff. So what's the alternative? Should I just wing it?
Not at all. The key is to structure your day around your calendar. Everything goes in the calendar. Work tasks, appointments, even your workout and breaks. It becomes a visual representation of how you're spending your time.
So instead of just writing work on website on my to-do list, I should actually block out, say, Tuesday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. for website development.
Exactly. And this approach forces you to think about how much time each task actually requires. If you realistically only have 2 hours a week for marketing, for example, you'll quickly learn to be very intentional about how you utilize those 2 hours.
I can already see how this would help me stay organized and avoid those, oh no, I totally forgot about that moments. But let's take this a step further. How do I really laser focus my efforts within those calendar blocks?
This is where the concept of the MIT comes in, your most important task.
FNIT. Sounds serious. Tell me more.
It is. The MIT is the one task that, if you complete it, will have the biggest impact on your overall progress. So even before you open your calendar, ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do today to move my side hustle forward?
Let's say my big goal is to launch an online course by the end of the quarter. Would my MIT for today be something like finalizing the course outline?
That's a great example. Having that clarity, knowing your MIT, eliminates so much wasted time and energy. You're not just working, you're working on the right things.
I love that, being productive, not just busy. So we've got calendars and MITs. This is starting to feel like a real system.
And it's a system used by many successful people. Combine this with techniques like time blocking, where you dedicate specific time slots on your calendar for various tasks, and you'll be amazed at the results.
Time blocking, I've heard that term before. Is that like designing your ideal week on your calendar?
Exactly. You can literally break down your week and allocate specific blocks of time for things like marketing, content creation, client communication, learning, and of course, personal time. It's like creating a personalized roadmap for your week that ensures everything gets the attention it deserves.
So for example, I could block out Monday mornings from 9 to 11 for creating social media content for the week. That way it's done. And I can focus on other tasks without that nagging feeling that I'm behind.
Exactly. The key is finding a rhythm that works for you. Some people prefer longer, uninterrupted blocks of time, while others thrive on shorter bursts of focused work. Experiment and see what feels most natural and productive for you.
This is making my inner organizer so happy. But let's be honest, the real challenge is sticking to those time blocks and avoiding the dreaded procrastination monster.
Procrastination is a very human struggle, especially when you're juggling a side hustle on top of everything else.
Tell me about it. I'm the queen of I'll do that later, and then suddenly later becomes a last-minute panic. So how do successful people actually overcome this procrastination trap?
It's less about willpower and more about understanding the psychology of procrastination. We often overestimate our future selves. We think, oh, future me will totally have the motivation and energy to tackle that huge project. But when the future arrives, we're often facing the same distractions and mental fatigue.
It's like present me is setting future me up for failure. How do we outsmart this future self-sabotage?
One proven strategy is to embrace the concept of good enough. We often procrastinate because we're striving for perfection. But in the world of side hustles, done is often better than perfect, especially in the early stages.
So instead of spending hours obsessing over every detail of my website design, I should focus on getting the core functionality up and running and then iterate later. progress over perfection.
Exactly. Another powerful tool is visualization. Take some time to really visualize your ideal self, the person who consistently achieves their goals and doesn't get bogged down by procrastination.
I love that. It's like giving my future self a pep talk and a much-needed dose of accountability.
And when you embody that ideal self, it becomes much easier to make choices that align with your goals.
This is really shifting my perspective on procrastination. It's not about laziness, it's about understanding my own brain and finding strategies that work.
And of course, there's the reality that no matter how organized and productive we become, there will always be more to do.
That can feel a little overwhelming. How do successful entrepreneurs deal with that feeling of never enough, especially when they're building a side hustle on top of everything else?
This is where learning to say no becomes crucial. Saying no to requests or opportunities that don't align with your goals or values is a superpower.
Saying no is tough, especially when you're just starting out and eager to take on any opportunity that comes your way.
I understand.
Yeah.
But every time you say yes to something that's not truly aligned with your goals, you're saying no to something that is. Think about it. If you say yes to that last-minute project that doesn't really excite you, you might be saying no to an evening spent working on your passion project or spending time with loved ones.
That's such a good point. And sometimes we feel guilty saying no, like we're letting people down.
But successful people understand that. Their time and energy are their most valuable assets. They protect those assets fiercely, and that means being selective about where they invest them.
So it's not about being selfish. It's about being strategic and recognizing that. We can't pour from an empty cup. But honestly, the idea of turning down opportunities, especially in the early stages of my side hustle, still makes me nervous.
I hear you. And there are ways to say no gracefully and without burning bridges. Instead of flat out no, you could try something like, that sounds interesting, but my schedule is packed right now. Maybe we could revisit this in a few months.
That's much softer and keeps the door open. For future collaborations, I'm already feeling more confident about setting boundaries.
And when you learn to say no effectively, you create space for the things that truly matter. And speaking of creating space, let's talk about the power of outsourcing.
Outsourcing, yes. This is something I've been wanting to explore, but I always thought it was for bigger businesses, not someone just starting out with a side hustle.
That's a common misconception. Even those in the early stages of their side hustle journey can benefit from outsourcing. Are you spending hours each week on administrative tasks, bookkeeping, managing social media, or even things like website maintenance?
All of the above. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in the day-to-day stuff and not spending enough time on the creative aspects of my side hustle.
That's exactly where outsourcing can be a game changer. There are incredibly talented freelancers out there who can take those tasks off your plate, freeing you up to focus on what you do best. And it doesn't have to be expensive either.
I'm definitely on board with the idea, but I'm a little overwhelmed by the logistics of finding and managing freelancers. Where do I even start?
There are fantastic platforms out there that connect businesses with freelancers. Sites like Fiverr and Upwork are great places to start. And there are more specialized sites, depending on your needs.
So if I need someone to help with graphic design for my website, I could go on Fiverr and find someone who specializes in that area.
Absolutely. You can browse portfolios, read reviews from other clients, and often get a sense of their pricing before you commit.
This is amazing. It's like having a whole team at my fingertips. What about managing those freelancers once I've hired them?
Project management tools are your best friend. Platforms like Asana or Trello can help you keep track of tasks, deadlines, and communication, all in one centralized location.
So it's not just about handing off tasks. It's about having a system in place to ensure those tasks are completed efficiently. And everyone is on the same page.
You've got it. And with a little practice, you'll be amazed at how much outsourcing can streamline your workflow and free up your time and energy for the things you truly love about your side hustle.
This is a game changer. Calendars, MITs, time blocking, saying no, outsourcing. This is like a whole new level of side hustle strategy.
And that's what the power of proper priorities is all about. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things in a way that aligns with your goals and values.
This has been incredibly insightful. Before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to remind everyone to hit that like button and subscribe to Dollar Side Hustle for even more tips and strategies to help you crush your side hustle goals. And speaking of crushing it, be sure to check out the affiliate links in the episode description for some amazing resources that can help you streamline your business and boost your productivity. These are affiliate links, and the commissions help us keep the channel running and bring you awesome content so your support is truly appreciated. We'll be back soon with even more strategies to help you level up your side hustle game, so stay tuned.
Want to start a side hustle but feeling stuck on the tech part? You're not alone. Many first-time website owners feel the same. That's where Bluehost comes in. As the top-rated web host, they make things super simple with an easy setup, plenty of features, and budget-friendly plans to help you launch your website fast. Plus, their 24/7 expert support has your back anytime you need help. Head to $sidehustle.com/Bluehost now and grab a whopping 88% discount.
Want to make $25 to $50 an hour just by writing reviews of apps on your phone or tablet? It's as simple as downloading apps, trying them out, and sharing your honest feedback. No experience needed, just a phone, a tablet, and some basic writing skills. If this sounds like your kind of gig, don't miss out. Paid reviewers are in high demand, and you can start earning right away. Ready to get started? Visit $sidehustle.com/review apps and start making money from your reviews today.
It's amazing how even small tasks, they can drain so much time and energy if they aren't managed effectively.
That reminds me of something I read about Sheryl Sandberg. She's the COO of Facebook. Apparently, she makes it a point to leave work by 5:30 each day to have dinner with her family.
It's fascinating how even someone at that level prioritizes personal time. It really highlights the idea that success isn't just about work, it's about creating a fulfilling life overall.
Absolutely, and there's that famous story about George W. Bush setting a goal to read 2 books a week during his presidency.
Imagine the demands on his time, the weight of leading a nation yet. He carved out space for something he valued, something that likely helped him de-stress, and maybe even made him a better leader.
It's almost like a permission slip for the rest of us to prioritize the things we often feel guilty about. If the President of the United States can make time to read, maybe I can squeeze in a yoga class or finally start that passion project I've been putting off.
That's a great way to think about it. It's about aligning your time with your values, what truly matters to you. Make sure those things are reflected in your schedule and your daily choices.
I love that. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget about the things that bring us joy and make us feel whole.
And remember, saying no to the things that don't truly align with your values creates space for the things that do. It's like, addition by subtraction. You're adding more value to your life by subtracting the things that drain you.
Okay, so we've talked about calendars, MITs, time blocking, saying no, and outsourcing. Those are some powerful tools. But there's another piece of the puzzle that I've been struggling with, and that's dealing with the never-ending nature of work. It feels like no matter how much I get done, there's always more waiting in the wings.
That's a common feeling for entrepreneurs, especially those who are passionate about their side hustles. The key is to shift your mindset from trying to do it all to focusing on doing what matters most.
I know that intellectually, but it's hard to put into practice. How do I actually make that shift, especially when I'm so excited about my side hustle and want to see it succeed?
It starts with accepting that you literally cannot do everything, and that's okay. The next step is to get really ruthless with your priorities. Ask yourself, what are the tasks that will truly move the needle for my side hustle? Focus on those and be willing to delegate or even eliminate the rest.
So it's about recognizing that not all tasks are created equal. Some are essential for growth, and others are just distractions or busy work.
Exactly. And when you learn to distinguish between the two, you'll free up so much time and energy to focus on the things that truly matter.
This is so helpful. I think a lot of new entrepreneurs struggle with this. We feel like we have to do everything ourselves, and we end up burning ourselves out.
And that's why learning to let go and trust others is so crucial. Whether it's outsourcing tasks, delegating to team members, or simply asking for help from friends or family, don't be afraid to lean on your support system.
There's that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
That's a great way to put it. Building a successful side hustle is rarely a solo journey. Surround yourself with talented people. Build strong relationships. And remember that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
This has been so insightful. I'm feeling inspired and ready to implement all these strategies. But I have to admit, I still get those moments of overwhelm where I feel like I'm drowning in to-dos and not making enough progress.
But those feelings are completely normal. It's important to remember that the journey of entrepreneurship, especially when you're building a side hustle, is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and never stop learning and growing.
Those are words to live by. I'm so glad we had this conversation. I know our listeners are feeling empowered too.
Absolutely. And remember, the key to unlocking the power of proper priorities is to find what works best for you. Experiment, iterate, and keep refining your approach until you find a rhythm that allows you to thrive.
That's such great advice. Before we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive, I want to remind everyone to hit that like button and subscribe to Dollar Side Hustle for even more tips and strategies. And don't forget to check out the affiliate links in the episode description for resources that can help you streamline your business and take your side hustle to the next level. These links help support the channel and allow us to keep bringing you awesome content, so we really appreciate your support.
Struggling to make money online? Most businesses fail because they're missing one key piece of the puzzle. This new system can help you earn up to $3,493 with no selling. And it all starts with a free webinar happening in just a few hours. Here's what you'll learn: the exact system that's generated over $23 million online and how to use it yourself, the 3 biggest reasons online businesses fail, how to activate 3 profit levers to start making real money. Don't miss this chance. Visit dollarsidehustle.com/no-selling to get started today. Stuck in a dead-end job and need a way to make extra cash? Businesses everywhere need help with their online presence, and you can earn $20 to $50 an hour writing social media posts, emails, and more. No experience? No problem. We'll match you with available jobs so you can start earning fast. Ready to kick off your online writing side hustle? Visit dollarsidehustle.com/writingjobs and get started today.
Welcome back to Dollar Side Hustle. We're wrapping up our deep dive into the power of proper priorities with some strategies that can really take your side hustle to the next level.
I'm ready for those next level strategies. What have you got for me?
One technique I've seen successful entrepreneurs use is something called theming your days.
Theming my days. That's a new one. I'm used to having a to-do list that seems to stretch on forever, but I've never thought about organizing my days around themes.
It can be a game changer. Think about it. When you focus on one specific type of task or activity each day, you create this incredible sense of flow and momentum. You're not constantly switching gears and draining your mental energy.
So instead of trying to cram marketing, product development, and client calls all into one day, I might dedicate Mondays to marketing, Tuesdays to product development, and so on.
Exactly. And this approach allows you to really immerse yourself in each area, which can lead to deeper focus and ultimately better results.
I never thought of it that way, but it makes so much sense. It's like creating mini sprints throughout my week where I can really hone in on one area and make significant progress.
And it can help with decision fatigue as well. When you know that, say, Tuesdays are dedicated to content creation, you don't waste energy trying to decide what to work on. You just show up and create.
That's huge. No more staring at my computer, feeling paralyzed by indecision. I'm really liking this themed day approach. Is it pretty flexible?
Absolutely. You can adjust the themes as needed. Some people theme their days around clients or projects. Others might have admin day, creative day, or even meeting day.
So it's all about finding what works for you and the type of side hustle you're building.
Right. And another benefit is that it creates the sense of rhythm and predictability in your week, which can actually reduce stress and help you feel more in control of your time.
That makes sense. I'm feeling calmer just thinking about it. It's like giving my brain permission to focus on one thing at a time.
And when you combine this with the strategies we've talked about already, calendars, MITs, time blocking, energy management, you're well on your way to creating a system for side hustle success.
This is such valuable advice, and it all circles back to this idea of prioritizing what truly matters, which I have to admit is something I still struggle with. It's so easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of tasks and feel like I'm not doing enough.
It's a common struggle. The key is to shift your focus from trying to do it all to doing what moves the needle.
I know that intellectually, but putting it into action is a different story. Any tips on how to actually make that shift?
It starts with accepting that. You can't possibly do everything. And then it's about being incredibly intentional about how you spend your time. Ask yourself, What are the tasks that will have the biggest impact on my side hustle? Focus your energy on those and be willing to delegate or even eliminate the rest.
So it's about being strategic and recognizing that not all tasks are created equal. Some tasks are essential for growth, while others are just distractions.
Exactly. Once you can tell the difference, you'll free up a surprising amount of time and energy to focus on what matters.
This is such an important lesson. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when they're first starting out, really struggle with this. We feel like we have to do it all ourselves, and then we wonder why we're burning out.
And that's why learning to let go and trust others is crucial, whether it's through outsourcing, delegating to team members, or simply asking for help when you need it. Remember that you don't have to do this alone.
It all comes back to that idea of if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
That's so true. Building a successful side hustle is rarely a solo endeavor. Surround yourself with talented people, build strong relationships, and never be afraid to ask for help.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I'm feeling so much more equipped to manage my time, prioritize effectively, and really take my side hustle to the next level.
And remember, the entrepreneurial journey is a marathon, not a sprint. Be kind to yourself, celebrate your wins along the way, and never stop learning and growing.
This has been amazing. Before we officially wrap up, I want to remind everyone to hit that like button and subscribe to Dollar Side Hustle for even more side hustle tips and strategies. And don't forget to check out those affiliate links in the episode description. You'll find resources to help you streamline your business, boost your productivity, and take your side hustle to new heights. Those affiliate commissions help us keep the channel running and bring you great content, so we truly appreciate your support.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another episode, packed with insights and strategies to help you turn your side hustle dreams into reality.
Until then, keep hustling smart, stay focused, and we'll catch you in the next episode. We'll catch you in the next episode. We'll catch you in the next episode.